I'm Kat and I play red. I'm old enough that I grew up playing Civilization on the PC, like a lot of people I imagine around my age. So I love a good Civ game. However, a lot of them can be over complex and too long, and you can't necessarily get the right people at the right time. So today we're having a look at a Civilization game that plays about an hour and a half. Quite easy and quite quick. We are looking at Khora, Rise of an Empire. This is from Yellow. The designers are Headquarter Simulation Game Club. So I assume it's a collaboration of people. Let's have a look at how it plays. In Khora, players take on the role of a head of a blossoming city-state in ancient Greece. On your turn, you will choose 2 or 3 of 7 available actions. Choose actions that align with your strategy, but also work with your dice roll. Move up the tax track to gain extra income, the troop track to explore, and the glory track to gain endgame bonuses. Unlock achievements and explore, but you must have the most points at the end of the 9th round to achieve victory. Each player has their own city board with tracks for your economy, culture and military, all of which start at 1, and your extra action dice here, which can be unlocked by reaching this space on the culture track. Randomly choose a city tile, which I've already done, and pop that on your board. Gain the bonus shown at the bottom here. So I'm going to gain 3 scrolls. So move those over a bit. These are my scrolls. This is your city development track. Place the 7 action tiles in your player colour in order in front of you. Start with 4 drachma and your achievement shields here. You're going to start the game with 2 action dice. Each turn you're going to roll your dice and assign each of them to an action card. Shuffle all of the politics cards and deal 5 to each player. So you're going to draft these to start your beginning hand. Cards come in 3 different types, and I've actually got all 3 in my hand. Miracles. We have yellow, which have a lightning bolt and are immediate actions. Purple, which are ongoing actions, and red, which will give you endgame points. So let's just, oh my goodness, what do I like? I like that one, and I'm going to pass these, and my neighbour's going to pass me theirs, and let's have a look. Take that one and pass those on. Take these 3 and 4 and 5. So I've got my 5 starting cards here. Then we've got the main board here. We have the victory point track around the outside of the board. We're going to start at 0. Our discs are on the citizen, tax, glory and troop track, and they start on this marked space here. Citizens will allow you to change the value of your dice. You can pay multiple citizens to add multiple +1 to your dice. So if I had 1 and I wanted a 4, I can pay 3 citizens and my dice becomes a 4. Okay, so that's your citizen track. The tax track will give you income at the beginning of each round. The glory track will give you victory points at the end of the game, and troops will allow you to gain knowledge tokens as shown here. The game is played over 9 rounds. Each round has 7 phases: event announcement, tax, dice, actions, progress, event resolution, and lastly the achievement phase. The event deck comprises of 9 cards. The first card and the last card are always the same one, and then we've got 7 random cards in the middle. So the first thing we're going to do is event announcement. We turn over the top card and announce it so everyone knows what it does. So this one, during the dice phase, each player who rolls a combined value of 4 or less gains 1 knowledge. So that will happen during the dice rolling phase. Then we move on to the tax phase. Each player will gain an amount of money dependent on where their marker is on this track. So I get a big fat 0. Then you're going to move on to the dice phase. So you're going to roll your dice. 3 and a 2. Gosh, that sounded a bit rimmer. Let's have a look at what I want to do. The player with the lowest total will be the start player for the round. Now you're going to assign one of your 7 tiles to each of the dice. Now adjust them using citizens if you need to. So let's have a look at what I want. I'm going to put that there. That's a 2, so I can go on a 1, and I'm going to put my 3 on the trade. So I don't need to spend any citizens for that. Your dice must be greater than or equal to the action it's assigned to. Actions are then played simultaneously, but one number at a time. So we do the 0 first, then the 1, then the 2, etc. for everyone. The only tile where turn order matters is the military. So the military is done in turn order. Everything else can be done simultaneously. So let's have a look at what these tiles actually do. 0 is the philosophy tile, and this will allow you to gain a philosophy token. These can be used in 3 different ways, and I've actually started the game with some because of my city bonus. So during the dice phase, you can trade one of these in to gain 3 citizens. You can spend 2 during a politics or development action to ignore one requirement of your card or your city development, which we'll look at in a bit. You can also use 1 in the progress round to give you an extra movement on the track. And there's actually a handy little reminder here of what you can do with philosophy tokens. The second action here, which I'm going to take, is legislation. So I'm going to gain 3 citizens, so I go up the citizen track, then draw the top 2 cards from the deck, choose one and put the other at the bottom of the deck. So, oh, goodness me. So I think I'm going to take the Colossus of Rhodes. He's expensive, but he gives me 10 points. So I'm going to take that and put that back at the bottom of the deck. There's no hand limit, so you can actually have as many cards as you want, but you're going to have to play them, and you've only got 9 rounds to do it. Number 2 is the culture action. You're going to gain points equal to your culture level. So at the moment, I'd gain 1 point. Not very exciting. Number 3, trade, which I'm on. Gain drachma. Oh no, gain 1 more than my current economy level. My economy level is at 1, so I'm going to gain 2 actually. And then I can buy one of these minor knowledge tokens. Now, on the board we have major and minor tokens, but then we've also got these minor knowledge tokens here, and you're going to need these to play cards and upgrade your city. So I can buy one for 5 coins, which I'm going to do. 1, 2, there's my 5 coins. Now let's have a look at what I'm going to want. So I think this is a really nice card, and the requirements for the card are that I have a green knowledge token. So I think that's going to be the one I buy. So that is trade action. The military action, you're going to gain troops equal to your military level. So here I'd get 1. And then you can take the explore action. Now let's just pretend I'm higher up on this track. So let's say I have 4 troops. So I can take any of these knowledge tiles that require 4 troops. However, all of them are going to kill off some of your troops. So if I wanted to take this one, I'd have to have 4 troops, but I'd lose 2 of them. I'd then gain 2 money for taking that token. I'd get that token, put it in my area. So there's lots of different ones. They have different bonuses. The tile you take is going to depend on what cards you have in hand. But I'm not taking that action, so we're going to go back down. Number 5 is our politics action, and this is what allows us to play cards from our hand. So going back here, let's have a look. This card here means I need to have one of these green tokens. You don't pay them, you just have to have them. So I have a green token, and I could just put that into play. So some of them cost money. So this one here would cost 2 money, and I'd gain 3 philosophy tokens. Here I'd have to have 2 green tokens and pay 1 money. So make sure you meet the requirements shown at the top of the card. So that's politics. Then number 6 is development. So all you're going to do is move up the development track on your city. Now, again, these have requirements. So this one I'd need a green and a red token. Whenever I play a card, I'm going to gain some money and points. So that's rather nice. Some of these effects are immediate, some are continual through the game, and some are end game using the same symbols they use on the card. So I've actually taken my actions, and so then we're going to move on to the progress phase. Now, during the progress phase, players may choose to move up 1 space on a track of their choice. You're going to have to pay the associated cost. So I have 1 coin, that's not particularly grand, but I can go up 1 on the culture track. If you go over these spots here, you're going to gain the bonuses shown. So I get nothing for that, but I pay my 1 money and move up the culture track there. And everyone will get a chance to do that. Don't forget as well, if you have philosophy tokens, you can use those. So if I have more money, I could pay a philosophy token and move up somewhere else as well. After the progress phase, we do the event resolution. Now, this one was actually during the dice phase, so we've dealt with that one. But usually these are effects that occur at the end of the round. After event resolution, we move on to the achievement phase. Now, each player starts with these 5 achievement tokens, and they all have different requirements, and they're all actually marked on the appropriate boards or tracks. So, if you've played 3 cards, if you're at 4 on the economy track, if you have 10 points, if you have 6 troops and if you have 12 citizens. Like on the 12 citizen track, there's a little shield here that tells you. On the troop track at 6, there's a little shield that tells you. So keep an eye out for those symbols. If at the end of the round, let's say, oh look at me, I'm 10 points, I can place my achievement token on that space. Now, if I've placed on it this turn, other players can play on it now, but not in the future. If I am the only person to go on that achievement this turn, I can choose to get 1 on the tax track or 1 on the glory track. If multiple people go on it at the time, you're going to just get the 1 tax movement, which is still fine. The game will end after the 9th round, and you'll know it's the 9th round because we've got 9 of these event cards. So let's just have a look at some more actions and stuff. So we're going to, all players lose 2 troops, that sucks, but it happens at the end of the round. Let's move me back to 0. Tax, I still have nothing on my tax track. That is absolutely terrible. And where's my other dice? There. Let's have a look at what I might want to do. I really need some money. So let's see. Right, so I'm going to roll my dice, a 4 and a 1. Money comes from the trade, but I'm only going to get 2 money, which is a bit rubbish really. I want to go on trade, so I'm going to pay 2 citizens and make my 1 a 3. And I also want to play a politics card, so I'm going to pay 1 citizen to move that to a 5. So I'm going to gain 2 drachma, which is terrible. I'm not going to buy a token. Politics, I'm going to play a card from my hand. So I'm going to play this card. I have a green token here. And this actually means I pay less money when I move up my progress tracks. So that's rather nice, seeing as money is so tight. Now I've done my actions, we move on to the progress phase, and it's going to cost me less coins to move up here. It cost me 1 less and I've only got 2. So let's see, I'm going to move up the military track actually, so that's going to cost me 1. And I'm going to get 1 glory. At the end of the round, we do event resolution and players will lose 2 troops, but I don't have any troops, so it doesn't matter. No achievements, with nowhere near any achievements, and we'd move on to the next round. The game ends after 9 rounds, and you're going to add your endgame scoring from your cards and development to your total. So any points you have here. So if I'd got up here at the end of the game, gain 3 points for each card, and I have a card, so 3 points. And I have no points for cards because I don't have any red cards. Then you're going to multiply your glory by your major knowledge tokens. So let's just say I've been a bit fighty. Let's say I had these 3 tokens. My glory is at 1. It's a bit pathetic really, isn't it? So I would get 3 points for these 3 tokens. So only the major knowledge tokens count for that score. The minor ones here, without the laurel wreath, don't. So to get these, you're going to have to get your troops up much higher than I did. Add up the total points and the player with the most wins. Khora, Rise of an Empire, is actually really nice. It plays up to 4 players. It plays, I'd say, between an hour and an hour and a half once you know what you're doing. The production quality is lovely. The inlaid boards, the city tiles that I can't get out, she says. And there's also loads of information. If you want flavour, we got flavour, which is nice. It kind of feels a bit like Paladins crossed with Elysium, if you've played either of those. The tracks all kind of feed off each other, so you move up one track and you move up a track here, which is where the Paladins feel comes, for me anyway. I like that. I do like a good track. It's available now. It's been out, I think, a couple of years. It missed me for a while and I finally picked it up and I'm very pleased I did. It's a really nice introduction to Civilization games for people who don't play them, and it's at the level where it's just right. It's not too much. If you've got someone that you can't get to play like Through the Ages or something, this is a really nice introduction. Khora, available now from Yellow. Check it out. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click like, click subscribe. Ooh. Come and say hello on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I Play Red. Convention season is starting. It's looking like I'm going to be at BGG Spring this year. So if you're there, come and say hello and let's play a game. See you next time. Bye.